massive wagwan. Andrew Robbins here, Jamaican brother there, reaching out to all the massive on the African continent. And you're tuning into the Pan-African Bliss Show with your host, none other than Joby, from Monday to Friday. Stay tuned. Andrew Robinson, love this tonight. You know how.
Sa check no gilas na ba presidente extra da kalene ke bawa shoka dolem na te koga na mahos na laman na dole so bisa sa tan kita pulay sa mateksa bisa jaya sa check no gilas na ba presidente extra da kalene ke bawa shoka dolem na te koga na mahos na laman na dole so bisa sa Kipapulay sa mateksa. Kipapulay sa mateksa.
Watanawaki wafa. Watanawaki wafa. Watanawaki wafa.
Kipapulay sa mateksa. Kipapulay sa mateksa.
Watanawaki wafa. Watanawaki wafa. Watanawaki wafa. Kibashiri waspa. Hakibeta waspa. Kupapa bigana. Bagila saka kaupa. Usanza mutasa. Ankantana bana. Ankantana bana. Skibile dilasna. Kai tata kai papa kai kiri kai kafa kai kafa kiri kai kafa kai kafa
Isa jaya sa check no gilas na ba presidente extra da kalene ke bawa shoka dolem na te koga.
Yes, Wagwan family, karibuni sana to yet another beautiful episode of the Pan-African Bliss right here on the Black Hot Fire Network Media for the 21st century. My name is Joby to the first-time listeners and viewers. I hope you guys are doing amazing. And of course, karibuni sana to yet another beautiful discussion. 8 minutes to 1 p.m. right here in the 254, 52 minutes past 12 p.m. I hope you guys day is coming out amazing. Shout out to everyone from the diaspora, shout out to everyone on the African continent. And of course, I'm not just speaking of everyone, I'm talking about our black people globally, wherever they are. Karibuni sana once again. This is the media of the 21st century. It's all about listening, engaging, and transforming. And of course, in case it is your first time right here, kindly consider subscribing, follow us on the rest of our platforms, and check out what we are all about. But basically, we are all about uniting African people around the globe. It doesn't matter where you are, so long as you are this melanin color of mine, or you came from people looking like me. That's what we are all about right here. But karibuni sana, that is Pabi Cooper with the Focalista. And of course, I hope you guys have enjoyed that banger right here. It is on a Tuesday. It's a beautiful Tuesday. I can't complain. And I'm feeling amazing. But yes, that is Bayana. And I hope you guys have enjoyed this amazing banger right here. Pabi Cooper was actually nominated. That was during the weekend for the MTV Awards. And actually, shout out to her. I really feel good, actually. I was going to ask myself the elevation of artists and everything. Like, do you know how much it takes for people? You people don't just judge anyone literally when they release their music. Some are what they judge, but we are speaking of the real artists coming from the continent. Do you know how great it is to see literally people putting on their effort and not giving up, believing in their dreams, who they want to be, who they believe they will become, and seeing it manifesting and literally working so hard to them, literally it being to being. I don't know if you're getting me, but I woke up today and I was looking at personally I'm so obsessed. If you know me, I'm obsessed. I'll call it an obsession with Amapiano. I'm really obsessed with Amapiano. Anytime, any day, baby, I'll listen to Amapiano. I'll dance for you for Amapiano. But I was looking at the journey of some of the artists that actually happen to be my favorite from South Africa. Shout out to Common Fella. We have Pabi Cooper. We had RIP Rest in Power. That is, we had AKA Aka. People call him Aka, but me used to call him AKA Aka. And we also had Costa Teach. And we also have a bunch of artists. Shout out to also Shoma Josie. But personally, my favorites, we have Common Fella, Pabi Cooper for Kalista, and a lot more. That Satril, my boyfriend, my husband, that one is a banger. I'll be playing next of his jam. I was trying to trace their journey in the music industry, and I'm actually impressed to see the growth that young people are doing outside here. Despite us being kept in such a hectic position, especially us as young African people, I'm still glad to see us using and nurturing our talents into something that people can either heal through, because remember, music does heal us, either way or another. I don't know how you healed by music, but personally, I am really, really motivated all the goddamn time every time I'm listening to music. But anyway, we shall be getting back to one more banger, and of course, this is Piano City by Satri, and I hope you guys get to enjoy this. And of course, we'll be back with our quotes of the day for the conversation of today. I want to focus on Gambia and the president and the current situation of Gambia. Children living in poverty, children are dying out of hunger, and this person has sworn not to leave the seat. And this actually takes us back to 1990. That was in 1990 something, when we had the constitution of Gambia being changed because of the dictatorship that had been going on. So we shall be discussing on that as we get to discuss a lot more. That was in 1997. So we shall be checking much on the Gambian situation. And of course, we shall discuss what is going on in Congo. We have 40 people, civilians, 40 people who have been killed out of nowhere of the blues, because they're saying militants have killed more than 40 Eastern DRC Congo citizens, and this actually happened to be the people who are being displaced and they were in a camp. So you can imagine, not only are people being displaced, but they're also being killed apart from being displaced from their homes. Who's causing all this? So we shall be getting into all that. Kindly stay tuned till the end of the show. Once again, Karibuni. This is the Pan African Bliss. My name is Joby. To the first time listeners and viewers, enjoy this amazing show of today.
Reaching out to all the massive on the African continent. And you're tuning into the Pan African Bliss Show with your host, none other than Joby.
Wepa. I wanna, wepa. Bami mami, I'm gonna away. Yes, and my quote of the day today says, if you are able to believe in Santa Claus for like 8 years, you can believe in yourself for like 5 minutes. That is to African people. If you are able to believe in in Santa Claus for like 8 years, imagine you can just take 5 minutes and believe in yourself. Like Katie says, if you don't believe, if you can't literally believe, if you have to believe in anything, just believe in yourself. Just take time and believe in yourself, because man, you can achieve a whole goddamn lot of shit. But that is my quote of the day, and of course, you can keep your comments coming, and rather your quote of the day coming. Keep me motivated for those who got some. Ay, ay, ay. Coco. Coco. Ay, ay, ay. Coco. Yes, and welcome back to the Pan African Bliss. And of course, you tuned into the Black Fire Network radio station. Shout out to everyone listening to me via the radio. Shout out to everyone listening to me also via our Spreaker, rather those who get to catch up with the episodes on Spotify. I hope you guys do enjoy these sessions. I was told we are having hits on our Spotify due to the sound issue, but we're gonna be checking it out to see what's really the problem, or rather come out with a different solution on how we can be recording the shows for you guys without having any difficulties of catching up with us. But for those who are with me on the radio station, Karibuni Sana. I hope you guys can hear me loud and clear. Let me know. Of course, I am on air, and for those who are on Facebook, welcome. And to those who are on YouTube, kindly subscribe in case you're new once again. And remember to hit that like button. It doesn't cost you a dime. But like I said, today we shall be having a very interesting conversation, and I'm glad to be discussing this because it's always the same things on and on, over and over again. It doesn't change. It's crazy. And I was saying yesterday, it's so funny and it's also so sad to see every time we have to come out right here with information. Sometimes you guys want to hear positivity, but the positivity that is much left to literally talk about is what we need to fight for as we talk about these negativities that are affecting this positivity, which should be not little but big. So it is super crazy. I want to talk. Yesterday I was saying that if you tend to look at most of the news we present coming from the media, it's always negative issues. It's always the mainstream media lying, back and forth reports which are not true. There's no actual fact of what is really going on. But I want to discuss on the matters of what is going on the DRC Congo as we get started, and of course, join the story with Ghana and the gold mining and everything. Nini? Nini? All right, so I'm talking about Gambia. Not Gambia, sorry about that. Congo, and what is going on in Ghana. And I think I want to start with what is going on in Ghana before I go to Congo, so that we can understand bit by bit what I'm talking about, and take us back also to Nigeria. Shout out to the current elected clown again, because yesterday I saw him speaking of the subsidies of the petroleum and everything. Yeah, the petroleum of everything and all that. And he was like, the country right now is gonna be doing way better, especially with everything on his hands. And I'm just like, nah, bro, you're another clown, who's just been appointed, given another job to become a puppet. So it is super insane. But what is going on in Ghana? Ghana has been declared, or rather, it's back on the top gold producer list. Okay, Ghana has gone back to being the top producer of gold lists. We know Ghana is the number one, literally. It's supposed to be. It's not like a discussion or a debate. Ghana is the number one gold producer. But my first question is, how did it go down to it now being reclaimed again? It's on the top. How did it go down to being reclaimed again? It's on the top. That is something I want to understand. They're saying that Ghana has regained its status as the leading producer of gold. It has been. It still is. Why has it regained? Look at the Ghana situation today. So we know why it has regained. Gold is still there. But let me continue, because I don't want to get messed up and all angry all over again, or rather all of a sudden, before me getting even anywhere further. They're saying that the Ghana has regained its status as the leading producer of gold in Africa after 32% surge in gold production last year. The Ghana Chamber of Mines attribution and the development of an increase in production in both small scale and large scale mining. But the country is now facing an environmental crisis due to illegal gold mining. Why is the country facing environmental crisis due to illegal mining? Take you back to Kenya. You remember me sharing a video of the Nandis who are complaining about the companies that have been built right here by some white people, and the government. They think the government does not know about this illegal mining. So how comes now Ghana is facing environmental crisis because of illegal mining? How is it that we have illegal mining in a country that is working correctly? Because that is what they claim. Every time we see them on these boards, every time we see them in the UN meetings or all these meetings, they're always called to be summoned. All they talk is the positive of it, but what you see is the negative of it. You know what is going on in your country, so don't call it illegal mining. You know what is going on. You know your people. You've kept your people to not gain anything from these resources. You've displaced people so that you can be able to take away lands, but not just take away, to dig minerals once you discover there's some minerals right there. So now all of a sudden, Ghana it didn't have gold, but it doesn't make media. This fake media. Bullshit. Such a bullshit. But they're saying that yes, but the country is now facing an environmental crisis due to illegal gold mining. Red flag. But much of the country's forests, rivers, and other bodies of water have been damaged by illegal gold mining, prompting serious health concerns in mining communities. Maybe I can just find a quick video to share of how many African people we have across many African countries, starting from Ghana itself. Go to, right now we're talking about Congo. Go to Gambia. Come to Kenya. Even right here where I am, we have people who are exploiting and taking away lands. And now we have someone claiming, oh, this, it has been illegal. We didn't know this has been happening. How did you come from a thin stick looking like a matchbox to a whole goddamn balloon? Now you're looking all healthy. And I am still in the same position. I mean, wait. If you really mean that you're giving us equality in life, I should be in the same health status as you. You're getting fat. Why am I remaining thin? You have an old pot belly looking like a... Damn. I'll find a quick video for that, but let me go back to this. They're saying that much of the country's forests, rivers, and other bodies of water have been damaged by illegal gold mining, prompting serious health concerns in mining communities. Should I remind you again about Nigeria? We still have Nigerians who are asking for compensation because of how they have been damaged, not only their environment, but still up to date. They're drinking unclean water because of how these people didn't give a shit and still do not give a shit, even how they mine. They don't care how they steal the resources. It's stealing and destroying. They don't care about the environmental crisis. Because again, remember, the aim is not to literally, me mining and me taking away your resources and me chasing you away. I'm not trying to give a shit about your health. I'm trying to get rid of you so that I can take over the land. I'm not trying to give a shit about your health. And this is what we need to understand from these puppets, because they keep on lying to us. Oh, we don't know this. Oh, we don't know this. So now when we come to us, the citizens, when the mainstream media is like, oh, why do you feel like this was happening? Oh, the government said they didn't know. They know. They know. And my simple question is, this person, when we employed him, you as an employer, maybe you are being stressed with your work, you had to distribute the job. You had to distribute the job. For you to build a business, I was reading this quote today, and which actually does make a very big sense. For you to be able to actually elevate your business, you need to build the people faster than the people can build the business. So we were not able to take care of the country. We gave you the job. We multiplied the jobs to different people. Majority of you in these offices, But what are you doing? I was so stressed to the point where I'm like, hey, we're equal, right? So I want us to grow far together. Let me give you this job. You lead the country. Show us the way, you know. But what they did is sell out the country, selling out the people and the health. Because at this point, we're talking about the same thing we're talking about yesterday, being exposed to diseases and multiple chemicals that we don't know where they're coming from. But they know. They know. We don't. They do. Ghana. The same popularity known as Glamsey. Small-scale mining has been the source of livelihood for a lot of unemployed youth in the southern Ghana. The government and experts have warned that Ghana could soon have to import drinking water in the current rate of destruction of the environmental the destruction of the environment if it's not stopped. Okay, let me read that again. The popular known as glam say small-scale mining has been in the source of livelihood for a lot of unemployed youth in the southern Ghana. Why do we have an employment one? Why do we have a small-scale mining which is literally what most of the youth have to live off, while we can have the whole bread and share? Why do we have to get the small one? Why do we have to get the small one? That aside, you had this correctly. The government and experts, okay, have warned that Ghana could soon have to import drinking water. Drinking water is what we saw yesterday. African people, we need to wake the fuck up. Man, this is serious. I even felt the goosebumps in my body. Like, we need to wake up. Oh my God. This is what we were sharing yesterday on my show, on the Africa Today show, how our water has been contaminated with a bunch of chemicals and a bunch of shit. And this is what they want to bring to Africa. We saw Bill Gates as he's being used to come in the name of we're helping Africa. We need to give you poop water because you guys, your environment is destroyed. Are you gonna die of thirst or drink poop water? Master will drink the poop water. Till what? And you saw even. I wish I could. I'm gonna watch that video. I think on my own. There's someone who mentioned on the chat yesterday. I can't remember. I don't know who it was. I don't even know it was because they have not signed in with their names. But someone mentioned about the venom snakes there. The snake venom being put on the how are they called? Literally on these things that we use to consume lots of these liquids. If I'm saying that correctly. It's crazy. It's crazy. Then make this make sense again. How do you say this country has regained its power? Because it's like power, okay? This country has regained back its wealth, or let me say wealth. You know, it's now it was wealthy, it became poor, then now it has become wealthy again. But this country, which is wealthy again in terms of actually natural resources, still requires help despite it now being regained to being the top gold producers. Why do they need help? Of course, I understand we have illegal mining, but it being the top now gold producers, don't you think there's some things now you need to work on so that we don't go down again? We're talking about illegal mining. How do we deal with that? We're talking about young people not being unemployed. How can we not being employed, sorry. How can you deal with that? How can you deal with that? But no, Africa, again, we still need experts. Experts in quotes. I don't know who they are. If you know, kindly let me know. Of course, I know. The experts. Africans are waiting for experts to bring water so we can be able to have drinking water. We used to have boreholes. We used to depend on rain in terms of even drinking water. We didn't need to buy water, actually. Me, I've grown up drinking water from rain. I've grown up drinking the water, the rain water. And it is the fresh thing you can ever have. literally so fresh and so purely clean if well harvested. But now we have to depend on drinking water because we have environmental destruction. We have climate change. The same also, the country's cocoa sector is also under serious threat as farms are being destroyed for illegal mining. Who is doing all this? The government has had adopted a military approach, deploying soldiers to mining areas without much success. And in 2021, South Africa overtook Ghana as the top gold producer on the continent due to the sharp drop in production. But the Ghana Chamber of Mines says that the country gold output shot up to 3.7 million ounce last year from 2.8 million ounce the previous year. Well, for me, with everything we read in here, we know one, it's a lie. Everything they're saying here, one, it's a lie. The illegal mining, the illegal gold mining, they know what's going on, how the country has been led to the destruction, how now we have a destruction in the environment where we have people to be displaced. They understand perfectly well. Why do we need drinking water? This is something they've already calculated everything. This is just stupidity they're trying to use to bring another poison to kill more of the African people so that they can tell you, hey, we're able now, despite you being the top gold producers, we're still the one in control. But we need you dead. We need you dead. But the question goes back again to just us, the African people, not the people in power, not these puppets in power. The question goes back to us. Are we willing to do research and be informed? We want to keep on listening to the mainstream media and the lies. There's so much evidence that the universe right now, at this point, it's not even the internet. The universe is revealing everything so clearly, what is really going on around. But we're so blinded, so distracted, so manipulated mentally in a way we can't reason. And then I understand right now, I think why they say we can't literally think on our own. Because that's what we've shown them. We can't reason independently, despite us not being independent. You know, you can literally not be independent, but you can still be independent. You can maybe not be the one holding, how should I say it? You could be the one not holding the company, but still you can save the company. You can help that company rise again. Because that's exactly what these puppets have shown also. Like this now how we're viewed, because the puppets have also been, oh my god, it's just crazy. It's crazy. But anyway, as we move on the same matters, you now connect the dots. This is what they do all over the African continent. It's scramble for resources, it's scramble for humanity, it's scramble for Africa and the African people. They don't care who dies, they don't care who lives. They want the lands. We know what has been going on in Congo for the longest time so far, but now we have some military men from a group known as Codeco, which is a cooperative for development of Congo. Who formed it? My question. Let me look at this very quickly. Who formed this? Who formed this? Because that's one thing we need to know. It's who formed this. And of course, maybe Google is going to be lying to us. Okay, let's see. Says okay. It's the Economic Democratic Republic of Congo has declined drastically around the 1980s, despite being home to vast potential in natural resources and mineral wealth. Their gross domestic production. Okay, I'm not looking for that. No, I'm looking for the cooperative. They're not giving me the answer even. See? Okay, let's see this one. Cooperatives in Democratic Republic of Congo. It provides synthetic of past knowledge on top on this topic and goes to the okay. Congo, previously known as Zaire. Oh, nah, they're not giving me the correct answer and everything. They're not. Google is not giving me the correct terms and everything that I'm looking for. I don't know who formed the cooperative for Democratic Republic of Congo. But yes, they're saying that the militia men from a group known as Codeco have been blamed for an attack on a camp for the displaced in east of the Democratic Republic of Congo. And that's left more than 40 people dead. Militia group from a group known as Codeco. My first number one question again is who formed it? Then why go attack a camp of displaced people already in another region and kill? It's not even just attack, you kill. Let's call it what it is because they are dead. They're saying the local officials have said that the group formed Lala camp earlier on Monday, and they shot and hacked residents before setting fire to huts. And some of those inside were burned to death. And the latest attack by the group, which claims to defend the interests of Lendu farmers, tens of thousands of people have fled out outlying village in recent weeks to seek shelter in the town of Bwele, and the UN peacekeepers are stationed. Of course, we have the UN. This is where you're gonna be having women being raped. You're gonna be having women being raped. This is just so brutal. It is so brutal. Now just connect with what is going on in Ghana and what is going on in Congo, and the same thing, copy and paste in the rest of the African countries. They come literally, they make the country collapse. They want Africa at the bottom, not just any country, but they want the whole continent at the bottom, including its people. Where they've ensured youths do not wake up, do not recognize what is going on, because if we do, we're gonna take over. Because we don't know, nobody, if we realize this, and of course which people are realizing, and they're gonna be fed up the moment everyone is gonna realize this has been all lies. Oh no, I don't think they're ready for the rage. And that's what they have been trying to do, stop us from not waking up, give us all the distractions they want to tell us. And now we have to go out of town and out of the cities talking about things that do not even concern us. We're not supposed to be debating on, because they're really doing their real shit outside here. So I'm asking Ghana, Congo, and the rest of the African country, the African people, till when do you want to remain stupid? Till when do you want to remain unemployed? Till when are you going to wait so that another generation can break the cycle of poverty in your family? Till when will we wake up out of our comfort zone and say, hey, enough is enough of us being told we need to be shitted on our faces and drink urine so that we can be able to be rich? I'm asking, till when? Till when? Because the more we're stupid, the more these people are really, they're so deep in the country. These people are really invested. There's a whole business going on here. We think it's partnership, like we go outside there, want to talk like, now we're representing the youths. Shout out to, is it Sheila Onyango? Not Sheila Onyango, but I think Adele Onyango, something like that. She was a former radio representative right here in the 254. She went and met Blinken. You saw from that video Kate was sharing. And she's like, oh, we need to cooperate. We don't need to cooperate. That is what we've been lied to all our lives, and in all this backward system of education, which is full of lies. We've been taught we need to cooperate with these people because they are our friends. But no, look at your situation around. Why do we always have the European living their best life, but not the African people? And if you find African people, we can count a number. And literally the number that is there, and maybe they have some information, don't want to educate the rest of the African people how to also become millionaires, billionaires, or entrepreneurs in business. And that's something else also. We're becoming too selfish. We're becoming too ignorant with each other, with what is going on around us, with not wanting to help each other, not wanting to share information. You think it's all about jealousy, competition. It's more than that. And I hope we can learn from the Chinese, the Indians, and everything. Look at these people. Every time you're going to go to their shops, you'll always find Indians. And if there's an African working there, you are either cleaning the goddamn floor or the goddamn toilet or licking someone's boot. There's something always an African person doing and they don't like it. And I've had this because I remember a friend was working at an Indian hospital, and she came and told me like, "Hey, man, I think I just saw racism on my face." And I'm like, "What's up?" She's like, "Man, these people, not only do they just employ each other, if an African is there, you ain't shit, and you're being monitored like it's like you're a criminal. You're being watched when you're going to the toilet. You're being watched what you're doing. It's like you're a criminal." And mind you, these people have built these companies in your country. So I'm asking you, African people, I mean, till when do you want to remain stupid? Till when do you want to remain in poverty? Because trust me, I think one day if I'm going to go to where I grew up, that's not where I really wanted to grow up, me being this much of an adult. I grew up in a fucked up area hood, in a very fucked up shit. I might have not really grew up in the ghetto. My life might have been fair, as much as it was not really fair with my parents. But still, in real life, I'm talking about the real life shit. I'm like, nah, I'm not growing here. I'm breaking this cycle. Call me tough-headed, call me hard-headed, call me what you wanna call me, but I'm not staying here. I'm out. I wanna be out. And trust me, I've not stepped there like right now. It's 5 years. Because I'm like, yo, peace with poverty. It's not from me. Peace with poverty. I've seen this in most of the families. It's only maybe one person who ends up being rich. Then you're going to have to be now the producer of everyone for the rest of the family members. Let us teach each other. Let us teach each other, each generation, everyone coming. You can become not only independent, but you can also be rich. You can also be wealthy. You can also live the life you want. Let's change also our mentalities, because everything again, you can be telling people shit, but hey, it's all mental. Again, I might be telling you how I can be showing you the skills of how to become wealthy, literally showing the directions, but you're so dumb in the head to not figure out that this is the life you're supposed to be, or rather thinking you might even be too negative to think you deserve it. You're like, nah, I'm used to living in shade, so what? Get used to change. And that is what we African people are not ready for. Nobody is ready for change. We used to waking up in the same cycle. Growing up in a fucked up family, that's okay. Growing up in a fucked up system, that's okay. Police beating youths for no goddamn reason just because you have dreadlocks, that's okay. A woman can literally be sexually exploited to get a job, that's okay. A lady can get exploited for scores in school, that's okay. A teacher can try dating you at school and go tell your parent about it. Then your parent can tell you are a goddamn adult. Deal with it. I'm a child. I want you to deal with it. That's the reason why I came to you. Shout out to my dad again. Man, this guy. But that's okay. But it was not okay for me because I was not having peace at school. My high school was chaotic. Chaotic, literally. I don't think I went to school, even to high school, to study. It's like I was just a model there. Like, yo, I'm a superstar. Like, yo, there's this high version that I have. And then again, not only do I have that, the teachers are also making it worse for me. They're making it worse for me. And you also have parents who are toxic at home to deal with. Man. And then that's okay for African people. Till when? Man, I was so, shout out to Kamlesh. I was so impressed, you guys, with Kamlesh home. You guys, you have no idea. We felt you ever want to become now so wealthy, like you just want everything to go so quickly, like you just want to see yourself so achieved. That was me, HR, and to Danny Talks. We were like, man, looking at the houses around, we're like, nah, these are people living like this. This is Africa. When we have the rest of the world where we have Kibera, a bunch of, it's like a whole goddamn nation in poverty. But the government has decided they can't demolish those houses. Maybe set some camps, maybe where people can stay for a quite period of time or something, as you build some houses for these people, because they're. But no, Ruto is coming up with all different type of housing project. I don't know which. I don't even want to know what is all this with house building. I don't know what. I don't know, because nobody wants it. But I looked at Kamlesh and I was like, man, not only are you smart, but these actually like an open, how should I say, an open information, or it's like we're being told there's some things you can achieve if you really want to achieve them at a young age. But not only that, we're really challenged mentally, because I was like, man, this guy is literally in his 30. I think Kamlesh is 30 or something. But you having your first baby, where you have your house, your compound, paying bills and everything. Imagine how the rest of us as African people, that's how we used to live in the ancient times. Nobody had to live like in shit and having their firstborns in shit. But right now we have poverty generating more and more, because one, not only as education become expensive, where most of the people have to become dropouts and choose marriage, including young men and women. It's just crazy, man. Family, it's just crazy. What I'm just saying, I just have a lot to say. I wish I can just get it all out at once, but all I'm trying to say is, African people, we need to be smarter than this, and I believe we are smarter than this. I do believe that. I do believe that. I do believe that. Because I'll tell you, from me, if I am to look at sometimes I wake up, look at my life around, I'm like, nah, Joby, there's no way you're living like this. It's still like a dream to me, but I'm like, hey, yo, wake up. It's not a goddamn dream. You have a big dream to still achieve. Because, yearning for small, you're yearning for big. Dream big. The Europeans dream big. And when I say they dream big, these people, I'm saying they don't give a shit who gets hurt, because they want the whole bread. You remain with the breadcrumbs because you used to being scared and saying like, nah, I'm used to. You used to what? You used to sharing? They don't share. You used to what? You used to what? You can't even share with your fellow African people. But you're like, I'm used to sharing. They'll show you what sharing is. You want, how's it called? Partnership. You want cooperation. You want to become business partners. They'll show you what partnership is all about. Well, they'll show you what partnership is all about. How to make interest, profits, without you recognizing what you're taking it. The situation in Ghana, Congo, Gambia, as we get into the topic of the day, before we wind up, it's all the same. We have puppets who have been kept here on purpose to destroy us, not to lead us. There's a difference. They have been kept here to destroy us, help the Europeans destroy us. But still, I go back to the point. It still makes me smile so good when I imagine these people are being used and now they're going to be dropped. That's the funny shit, and it doesn't add up till to date. Till to date, it's not adding up. It's not clicking. But again, it's clicking because you don't want to leave evidence outside here after you're done with your mission. As much as maybe there's some links, but here you don't want the direct evidence being discovered. So you have to get rid of it. And that's the puppet. It's crazy. But going to Gambia, as we relate with all these stories and the rest of the African continent, I'm saying that the Gambian president has sworn he's not going to leave the seat. is actually going for another term. And this is the same thing I think we've been having this discussion for the last couple of weeks and other couple of days. We were like been talking about the changing of the constitution, especially like writing to the 254 in Uganda, and we spoke about the repercussions of it. One, we're talking about dictatorship. We're talking about where the system has to remain the same and in favor of the puppets, the Europeans, but not ever the African people. Where do we fall? You know, it's gonna be worse, literally. Take us back in Moi's time, our second president. This guy, not only is he considered as a dictator, he was an extrajudicial killer. Come to our own president, the previous and the current. These people, not only that they committed some couple of murders, but they became leaders. Doesn't make sense. Okay? But again, still away aside from all this, because if we try to think about this family, apart from just having the constitution being changed, with still our current constitutions in each African country, whether it is a dictatorship type of constitution or, you know, human rights based type of constitution, it still doesn't make a change. It still doesn't add up because it's the same system. It's the same. It's still not us controlling Africa again. Until we're able to capture Africa as a whole, our elections, our leadership can be okay. Because I was trying to relate to this Gambian story. The reason why, let me read what they're saying, then I take you back to history, what they're saying. They're saying that the Gambian president has hinted to go for that term, and this is actually Adam Barrow. He said that he was actually re-elected in 2021, and has hinted that he may run for a third term at the next election in 2026. And the Gambia does not have presidential terms limits, and the two previous presidents both served more than 2 decades in the office. Why don't we have presidential limits term in Gambia? The Gambia does not have presidential term limits. Why? If we as people we feel like the term limits that we've given are not working in favor of us, why can't we change the term? But again, even if the term is changed, if it's not us changing it, it's always gonna change in favor of these puppets and the Europeans to still keep the country under control or being controlled. But again, they're saying during a meeting in the north of the country, President Barrow said those waiting for him to relinquish power have to wait a little longer. And those are the threats. This is the audacity of how these people talk. Fearlessly, nonsensically, like they just talk shit. Okay? These people talk shit. They talk, and this is how I want us African people to realize how disrespected we are actually. We as the employers of these people, we're so much disrespected because how does your employee tell you like you have to wait a little bit longer? Like I want to keep on stealing. I want to keep on putting you in poverty where your children do not have better education, where you do not have better electricity or energy, where you do not have enough water running. You still gonna have to be raped for you to get a jar of water, where people do not have to access hospitals and other places. Police stations, you have to bribe because one, you're not even paying them enough money. But we have to wait a little bit longer. Do you imagine can you feel the disrespect? The disrespect, the audacity. You have to wait a little bit longer. Personally, I'm very impatient. I am very, very impatient. I do not like let's say if in my I'll give a perfect example. If I am in a relationship, I'm telling you like, hey, I told you something like earlier, I need this done. Then you come with the excuse like, hey, it's been like a week or 2 weeks. You have to wait a little bit longer. Till when will I keep on waiting? I already told you my needs. Like, yo, what's up? You need to provide. It's a job, right? But no, you have to wait. I have to wait a little bit longer. I'll choose someone else. I have to pick someone else over you then. who will have to deliver on time. And don't misunderstand me, like, in the relationship term, but I'm trying to now relate this with this type of leaderships we have in Africa, because that's what they keep on telling us. Wait a little bit longer, or we're going to subsidize this, we're going to do this. And I asked yesterday, because I was reading an article yesterday which was saying that Africa, for the longest time, we've been surviving. We've been on the survival mode of subsidies. And I'm like, what? Do you know how crazy this sounds? We've been surviving on subsidies. We should not even been there. Because why do we have high cost of living while Africa is so blessed? We have food, we have natural resources, we have water, we have everything we need, for crying out loud. But now we're the number one people to be given aid, which does not even reach us. They furnish it again. We have to be given aid, but it does not come to us. All of a sudden, it has been stolen. All of a sudden, I don't know what has happened. Al-Shabaab have taken the food. What? All mind games. It's all mind games. All mind games. Crazy. But I'm asking African people, do you understand how disrespectful this sounds? Being told that you have to wait, that I'm not going to relinquish power, you have to wait a little bit longer. But anyway, they said that the Gambian leader alleged that there were people going around telling Gambians that he wanted to step down and they would soon take over the government. Those are the youths. Because if they're saying they'll soon take over the government, those are the youths. The threats ain't empty. And let me tell you, you old Negroes, your time is coming. Because, man, you're old. You're old. Step down. I'll show you what leadership is. Step down. You can't even reason. You're the same people urinating in front of a whole congregation, in front of cameras. Yet you calling yourself a president, or you can't even hold your goddamn urine because you're old. You're old to become a leader. You're too old. You need to retire. You need to be on diapers. Someone needs to take care of you. Sit down. We don't need you. We don't need you. And maybe until you're told, or until action is taken, because enough with telling you. We've told you enough. It's a high time actions is taken. Let me read this as I read what happened with this constitutional thing. And I'm like, Gambia does not have a presidential limit term. I'm like, what? Term limits? I'm like, anyway. They're saying that the Gambian leader alleged that there were people going around telling the Gambians that he wanted to step down and that they would soon take over the government. And he said that he was not going anywhere. The audacity. Let me share this. Let me share this. Let me share this. I don't want to be filled with rage right now. It's a good day. Okay? It's really, really a good day. But I'm really getting so mad. I'm really getting so mad. For me, it's too much humanity, but hey, these things trigger me sometimes. This is Gambian children. I want to share the audio. I'll share the video the way it's understood is back. Because this is you grew up in poverty, and you want the rest of your generation to grow up in poverty. Let me know if you guys can see my screen. Okay, there it goes. So we have these children. Look at them. The video claims, the video title is Sad Kids. Life in extremely poverty at the northern Bank region of Gambia. Sad kids. They are really sad. And you know what they're studying? The biblical bullshit. While still waiting on motherfucking Jesus to come and save them. And this stupid Negro is like, I'm not leaving. You guys, I need a gun, man. This is the reason why we need weapons. And I think I understand way better. And it has to come with education because, hey, can't be having guns in Africa just anyhow. We have a lot of tribal bullshit here. People are gonna be killing and slaughtering each other anyhow. We need guns once we understand the type of bullshit we're dealing with. You should not be watching your child suffering like this while you're paying taxes every single day. What is that money doing? What is that money doing? Man, I feel so heartbroken already. Pissing me off. Look at these children. Some biblical bullshit. Others have boards like the wooden board. Nights a book. A wooden is a book. A wooden. You given a wooden as a book. A wooden. And this, oh my God. And this, do you have this person telling you, this Adam Barrow, he's not going anywhere. And for those who are literally speaking of him to relinquish power, they have to wait a little bit longer. A little bit longer. While we have this type of situation, and the same thing again, like we say, copy and paste in every African country. I'm telling you, Kibera could be a whole goddamn city, maybe somewhere else, because this place is big. It's huge. I saw it closely. When was it? I think last week when we were in the cab. I'm like, man, because I've never been like so close to Kibera like that. I've never been like, because that place is scary. One, you can't go there. We have thugs there. You speak of, we have thugs. Thugs. Those are the people that get used easily by politicians. Like, hey, I need you to go demolish this place and I'll give you this amount of money. Is that okay? Cool. It's the most unsafe place to go. But yet you'll find the most interesting people again there with most interesting stories. But I'm asking, and this is what takes me back again to Tunisia, Libya, Morocco, these stolen countries of ours. I do not give a goddamn shit about them invading. I need the country back. We need back. And personally, if it'll have to be me being included in the war, it'll have to be back, especially for those children on the streets. For those children on the streets, personally, I've grown up telling myself I don't want to have kids. Why? Because the first time I saw children on the street again, I always say this, it crushed my soul, and it still does. Till today, I feel weak every time I speak about it, and every time we're going to look at situations like this. Situations like this. So heartbreaking. But there's parents talking. Man, this is not the type of situation we should, this is not the type of situation we should be living in. What is this? These are books. Imagine these are books. I feel goosebumps all over my body. This is crazy. But as you watch what is going on the screen, let me read for you out the article Gambia Quest, which happened in 2020 for the new constitution, and it came unstuck. It came unstuck. So they're saying that the constitution drafting process aimed at ushering in the Gambian's third republic has reached an unfortunate dead end more than 2 years after the process began, and after a highly acrimonious and polarized parliamentary debate and the proposed constitution promulgation bill 2020 was recently rejected in the National Assembly. The bill would have brought in a new constitution to replace the 1997 one, but with 23 lawmakers voting against, the backing of 31 fell short of the three-quarter required to put it on referendum. The failure to adopt the new constitution is a hurdle in efforts to put in the country firmly Yahya Jammeh was voted out of the office in December 2016 and ending his 22 years of dictatorship. Shout out to Museveni. Hello. Yeah, ending his 22 years dictatorship, and his efforts to cling to power failed after economic communities of West Africa states intervened military, forcing him to make a way for the winner, Adam Barrow. So he took over because remember we've read that he took over Gambia that was in 2017. Actually, yeah, he took Gambia. Yeah, the election happened in 2016, but I think he was signed. Gambia included a new constitution and accountability for past human rights violation. If this is not human rights violation, what we're seeing right here, and you're claiming and calling for a goddamn new constitution, you can't even make things right with the little you have. So how can you make things right with the most you can ever have? African people for us to see. These people cannot make a change with that little. The little they have. When I'm speaking of the little they have, I'm not speaking of us being bribed every goddamn time we have elections. They're coming to tell you they're buying you out. No, we need to see real work. Put in real work before you being a president. We want to see what is your capability, not stealing shit. And we want to see the real hustler, not someone on suits, not someone on shining shoes. Tell the goddamn Europeans who not coming to the meeting. We have meetings to attend in our own countries, and that is dealing with our people's problem. Is there any African puppet who's willing to wake up with their goddamn balls and say that? Nobody. I'm pissed off. Don't want to finish my show like this, man. This crazy. The Gambia vision for the Gambia the new vision for the Gambia included a new constitution and accountability for past human rights violations, and of course current human rights violation, and a truth, reconciliation, and reparations commissions was established to probe human rights violation committee between July 1994 to January 2017. While this has been a costly exercise, it was worth it. Gambians have grappled with some important constitutional ideas and reached insights that will be helpful in the long run. Given its great quest for change and the broad consensus that there cannot be any meaningful break with the political past without true and complete reform. I am confident that the Gambia will eventually that it's to change the constitutional change and rebuilding of the foundations for the good governance and democracy. There's no democracy, there's no governance. Our campaign promise of the ruling coalition, the formal process of the reviewing the 1997 constitution and drafting a new one started in June 2018 with the appointment of the 11 members commission. The commission had a twofold mandate, and the first was to review the 1997 constitution and draft a new one. The second one was to prepare a report of the draft constitution. The commission solicited the views and opinions of Gambians about issues they wished to see addressed in their new constitution. The commission began to review by preparing a list of 369 questions and issues of which public opinion was sought, and it toured the country and had further consultations and conducted additional household and online surveys. Excuse me, we had the elections, especially let me just leave alone with the constitution. The manifestos. Let's start there. Every time we have these people elected into presidency, into being puppets, into being clowns and bootlickers, they always give us manifestos. Should we take you back just writing the 254, the manifestos we had our own current president saying? He said, we're going to be having cheaper gas, we're going to be having cheaper electricity, we're going to be having cheaper means of transport, cheaper diesel, everything cheap. Life is going to be affordable. But right now, what are we talking about? He told you, hey, this country has shareholders, stakeholders, and the people do not belong to the country. Okay? So sort yourself, and actually is secretary, the minister of finance of Ruto, told us and said that Ruto never said there was ever gonna be any cheap cost of living. So what are you being told? Deal with it. So excuse me with this nonsense of saying that the review began with 369 questions, and which is issues of which the public opinion was sought. There is never public opinion given. It is always their goddamn opinion, and which is not even African. It is always coming from the European. It is always coming from the European. Even if you want to change a constitution, so long as we're not independent, we do not even understand who we are as African people. We can't stand for ourselves. Oh no, this constitution, it's in favor of the European. They're the ones who are going to give the public opinion of every African country. So pardon me with this. But it says, we toured the country and had further consultations and conducted additional households and online surveys. And it held dialogue with various actors, including political parties, central and local. I wonder how many civil society organizations were included. But they also say, in addition, it consulted with Gambians in the diaspora. Hello, we are speaking of Africans in the diaspora. You see, the fact you can't even understand Africans in the diaspora, because I bet the people in the diaspora, unless those who left from Gambia, most of them do not even know they came from Gambia. So pardon me with Gambians in the diaspora. Why did they run away? Hmm? Why did they run away? Why did they run away? That is my big question. But they're saying that following these consultations, as well as home in-depth research, following these consultations as well as home in-depth research, the commission procedure. The commission produced a draft constitution published on 15th November 2019. It then toured the country again to make people aware of the draft and final draft. Excuse me, and final draft constitution and report to the President Barrow in line with requirements of the 1997 Constitution. Then introduced the draft constitution, introduced several measures aimed at enhancing, strengthening. Let me just pause this. What is going on my screen? Pause this. What is going on my screen? Yeah, but it says the draft constitution introduced several measures aimed at enhancing and strengthening democracy. Enhancing and strengthening democracy. Are we seeing democracy on our screen right now? Is that what you call democracy? They included a presidential term limits on executive power, and greater political inclusion of marginalized groups, including women, youth, people with disabilities. The Bill of Rights chapter complied with international and regional human rights standard. International, excuse me. We continue. The public head high. I'm so glad to just know what I'm reading. Feels so good. Feels so good to be just so informed. Feels so good to be so informed. The international and regional human rights. The public had high hopes of significant constitutional change. They're saying that the public had high hopes of significant constitutional change, and the personalized politics of the recent past, the undemocratic provisions in the frequently amended 1997 Constitution, and the complete disregarded of the the rule of law by the former president left Gambians with a desire for change. Sadly, these hopes were dashed when the bill did not receive the requisite majority voted in the parliament. And what are the other options? They're saying that one of the way of trying to determine why it did not pass, it is to look at who voted against it. From this, it is possible to speculate what their main concerns were. A review of the parliamentary debate suggested that the major concerns were those of the governing party. It took issues with the limitation to the scope of executive power. It also did not like the fact that the presidential term limit would operate retroactively, if I'm pronouncing it correctly, retroactively. And this provision would ensure the current term of presidential Barrow would be counted towards his term limits. Let me read that again. This provision would ensure the current term of presidential Barrow would be counted towards his term limits. The rejection of the bill on its merits means that the Gambians will not get to see this version of the 2020 draft constitution in future referendum. So what now? The executive has not yet shared any plans, so we are left to speculate. I foresee two possibilities here. One option is to amend the 1997 constitution to include some of the more progressive provisions in the 2020 draft. And the problem with amendment is that it would have to follow the same process of the it's a whole goddamn bunch of just articles, and still at the end of the day, changed or not, like I said, for me I feel like it doesn't make a change if we African people do not understand who we are dealing with, who are on the seat, who are in power, and what we need, because it's up to us to realize what we need. We do not know what we need as African people. Like I said again, it's like a repetition of cycle. We used to eat. So the fact that we've shown them we used to eat, yo, that's why they're telling you, I'm not going nowhere. The audacity and the confidence make me understand that. But I'm coming to the end of my show today. I see Keith, you're saying, Karibu Sana. You're saying exactly 100%, Joby. You're saying that the books about Jesus and Muhammad, and that's why they stay in poverty. Exactly. Because now, that's what I'm saying, because now we've normalized, like, it's okay. I have to just wake up with the Bible, have to live in a hand-to-mouth situation. My baby has to die because they can't get enough medication in the hospitals, which is not literally medication, it's poison, sweet taking, given to babies. It's okay if I live in shit, it's okay. You know, me, I was born in poverty, so there's a poverty thing. Like for me, I said, I used to think people living in poverty, it's God who wants to leave them in poverty. So I used to think for us in the middle class, those who are rich, you know, it's like, yo, we just God favored. We're just God favored. Like, yo, I'm sorry. You're like, yo, I used to think that, being honest. I used to think like, yo, we just God favored. We just God favored. But apparently, no, there's no favorism here. There's favorism right here with a fake God, fake government, fake leadership. That's why it's favorism, because you can't get a job somewhere because if you're in this tribe, you don't got this connection. That's why it's favorism. But in real sense, it's not supposed to be a world of favorism. And that's how I complete. You're also saying that they ran away because Gambia is fucked up. I understand that. I do understand that. But my question is, will you keep on running away? Because the crackers don't need you where you're going. Okay? And until we're ready to break the cycle, because that's what it is all about. We'll run away, so will our generations. We'll keep on running away. Who's gonna, at the end of the day, then Africa is no longer gonna be ours, or it's gonna be a white man's world, of which is impossible. So to threaten you, stop running away. Okay? Stop running away. Teach your children what's right. Educate them. Face these people if you can. Personally, I think I'm already facing them by talking to YouTube. So, yo, I'm good. I'm good. So you face them. You can bring out now the range, the courage of us giving you information outside here, outside there. We'll just help you, give you the information. But can you kindly make it easier for us so we can start reporting more positive things? Now Africa is doing great, instead of all this propaganda now. Oh, Ghana has now regained its popularity in being the Africa gold producer, but now they have to now import water, drinking water. And now we have 40 people have died, and these are the displaced people who are just minding their business in the camp, and they have been attacked by a certain group called the Cooperative for the Development of Congo. Who built it? So my question is, you want to keep on running away? Till when will you run away? That is my show of today. I hope you guys have enjoyed today's session. See you guys on the Africa Today show. You know, today's on a Tuesday, so you shall be tuning in on the African Diary. And of course, later we shall be having HR and Kamlesh and Keith on the Black Kings frequency, just right here on the Black of Fire Network media for the 21st century. But apart from that, we shall also be having Katie and Shmani outside. We shall be having double shows. There shall be an outdoor show for those who shall catch up. Then we shall have the studio show right here. HR, Kamlesh, and Keith. And outside, we shall be having Shmani and Katie just doing the word of the street there with a couple of people for an hour. So you can catch up and see which one you can join. In case not any, you can watch the reply and give us your sentiments regarding our topics of the day. But see you guys on the Africa Today show. Allow me to go have my lunch. See you guys and have a good, productive day. Thank you, Keith, for tuning in, and to the rest of the family, silent members. Thank you so much, and see you guys later.